Hello YouTube, my name's Marie and today I'm going to do another recommendations video for you. I've done a similar video, I'll have it linked down below, and in this video I'll talk about one particular show and then give you a recommendation based on whether or not you liked that show. So sit down, grab yourself something to drink or a snack or whatever, and let's just talk about K-dramas. So the first one on my list is Because This Is My First Life. I just rewatched this show and did a full season review on it. Now this show really tackles a lot of modern issues to do with marriage and relationships and also like sexism in the workplace, and it just delves into like a lot of very serious issues through the lives of three female best friends, and they're wonderful. So not only are these characters really fleshed out and real, but their interactions and their relationships just suck you in. They just feel so authentic and they're not trying to be anything but what they are. So if you liked that show, I would highly recommend the more recent K-drama, Search WWW. Now Search WWW is about powerful women within the tech industry. So I gave Because This Is My First Life a 5-star, and I also gave Search WWW a 5-star, but they're very different. I recommend them to you if you liked one or the other because they both have these really strong themes that are more female centric, like they're coming from the female perspective. I do think that Search WWW is slightly more exciting. It's got a slightly faster pace and it feels like it has higher stakes. Also, the cinematography and the editing and all of the production of Search WWW is just, ooh, it's so good. Like, I really think that if you watch Search WWW, you're in for a treat. It's got different tones, but more of an intellectual approach to your entertainment. You will think about these shows after the fact. Next, I have Extraordinary You. I have not finished Extraordinary You yet because it's still ongoing, and this story is about a high school girl who has really everything going for her except for she's got a weak heart, and she starts to like lose gaps in her memory and kind of jump forward in time, and like just odd things are happening to her. And then she discovers that she's actually living inside a comic book, and she's not the lead. She's not the lead inside this comic book. She's a supporting character who is written to die soon. Wonderful high school aged story with a really interesting world building, and the world building and how fascinating I find it, how engrossing it is. Like, I sit here and I think about some theories and I really get invested not only in the characters but also like the world. Reminded me of the wonderful world building within Love Alarm. It tells the story of high schoolers again who have to deal with this new app that has come out where if someone is within a 10-meter radius of you, you get a notification on your app saying that someone close to you loves you. And I really loved Love Alarm. Like, it was a surprising watch for me. I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did. It has deep characters and a surprisingly hard-hitting storyline, but I put them, like, Extraordinary You and Love Alarm in the same category because of like how they're dealing with the concepts of their show and kind of the more altered reality genre. Really good shows, both of them. Actually, so far, all of the ones I've talked about are really, really good shows. Like, if you haven't seen them, you should just go watch them. Next, I am on episode 14 of When the Camellia Blooms. Camellia? And I haven't done a video on this one yet, but I would like to do a full review of it. I haven't done a first impression, but I really enjoy it so far. And it's about this single mother who moves to like a really small, tight-knit neighborhood or community. I'm not sure if it's a town or just a neighborhood. and she has to kind of deal with the prejudice of her neighbors, like the struggles that a single mother would have to go through. On top of that, she's opening up a bar, so she's getting attention from all of her like neighbors' husbands, and like it's just really wonderful. Also got a murder mystery thrown in there, and if I had known about the murder mystery earlier, I probably would have watched this show earlier, because that initial synopsis of like a woman dealing with her outspoken, gossipy neighbors, to me I was like, no. But the romance is adorable within this one, and it strikes a really wonderful balance between like the day-to-day lives and the mystery within the murder and such. And it also has some tie-ins to a real life ongoing murder investigation within Korea, or at least that's how I understand it. So a lot of interesting things going on there. But the show I'm going to recommend you watch if you're enjoying this one, it's currently airing, is to go back and watch Reply 1988. Now the two shows have a similar tone and this emphasis on found family and community, which is really charming. Next, my number 4 recommendation is if you've watched Hotel de Luna, and I feel like we all know Hotel de Luna. I don't need to explain it. Y'all all know. If you've watched Hotel de Luna and you haven't seen Goblin yet, I would go back and watch it, because the highbrow supernatural storyline and like how great the production is with both of them, I think fans of one would just absolutely eat up the other. So definitely go back and watch Goblin if you haven't. They're almost like a pair. I feel like you could easily binge them back to back, and like if they were movies you could make a night out of it. Like they just seem to fit in my mind. Like they complement each other. So the last 2 shows that I'm going to recommend for you are Come and Hug Me. This is about a young cop who has to protect his childhood love from his serial killer father. They're really exploring the nature versus nurture, criminological and also psychological discussion about, are criminals born or made? Is it their environment or their temperament? It's great. It's wonderful. Really, really well done. I highly recommend it if you enjoy more suspenseful, thriller, cop murder K-dramas. There is a romance in there, and it's good enough for a subplot. I've mentioned before that I really need a romance subplot so that it's good enough. The female lead is quite forgettable, but it's still good. It's still good. I think it was 4.5 star I gave it. Again, review is linked below. And if you really liked Come and Hug Me, I'd recommend going and watching The Smile That Has Left Your Eyes. Again, it's a similar tone. It's very serious. It has to do with a woman who starts dating the prime murder suspect, and her brother is the lead detective on the case. Wow, that was really hard for my brain. It's been a really long time since I watched The Smile That Has Left Your Eyes. This is, again, one I haven't finished, but I really should, because what I remember of it is it was fantastic. Again, it's very serious, and the romance is definitely the subplot. It is focusing a lot on more of the crime thriller aspects. This should just serve as a kick in my butt. I think I've been talking about The Smile That Has Left Your Eyes for the entirety of my channel. I feel like every time I mention it, I'm always like, I'm gonna watch it soon, and never do. So maybe this is it. This is I should just go watch it. I hope if you're in the mood to watch something, this helped you out a bit. Okay, and before I leave, I have a bit of a question. Kind of want to throw it out there. So I missed the October wrap-up. I was gonna do it, I had it like halfway scripted, and then like things in my personal life happened. But I have an idea, because frankly, my wrap-ups are getting a bit tedious for me. Like, I don't necessarily feel like I have to do them anymore. When I started, I wasn't as on top of my reviews as I am now, so I felt like there was so much that I was watching that I wasn't getting a chance to talk about. That's no longer the case, so I feel like they're almost unnecessary. So my idea is, for November, instead of a wrap-up, what about a favorites video? So not only K-dramas, but I could talk about music, both like Western and K-pop, because I listen to K-pop. And then I was also thinking I could like talk about some of the YouTubers that I'm really enjoying. Like, I recently found Two Set Violin, and they're hilarious. Books, I could just think, you know, like just talk about in general favorites. And of course I'd still highlight my K-drama favorites. Let me know what you think about that idea down below. I'm gonna try it out for November and then probably make a poll over on my Instagram. So throwing the idea out there, let me know what you think about it. That's everything I'm gonna talk about. So have a good day, you guys. Have a good night. Bye.